In this video, we're going to walk through a seller CMA in Present. So this is where we do all of our digital or printable presentations. So I'm going to come up here to the top right and click Create New. And I'm going to choose Seller. Once I click that, I'm going to choose the default seller. And let's just take a look at the default seller versus the brokerage template. So here we have just our basic property pages here with comparisons. The broker template you can see has 65 pages. But this is going to have a bunch of ones that you might want to put in about why choose Allen Tate or talking about First in the Carolinas. Just kind of all of the brokerage pages that relate to a seller. So if you haven't gone in, maybe you haven't set up your templates yet, this is just something great to do is maybe use this brokerage template first and then just go through the pages. Delete the ones you don't like that you would never talk about on a CMA listing appointment, and then keep the ones that you want to. It's just a good way to make sure you have all the pages that relate to you and how you talk through your CMA, and then you can save it. And then instead of using either of these two, you could just go up here, do My Templates, and choose your own template. We are just going to use this one in this case. And you're always going to do it as your seller's name, because the property is going to come up automatically. So then I'll do Create, and it's going to take a second to load up. Then we can easily just copy data from an MLS number if it's been listed on the MLS before. So I'm going to come in here, I just search for a property, grab an MLS number, and I'm just going to stick it in and do copy. So this is great and easy if this property's been on the MLS before. You can have it in there and then just kind of work with it with any updates that you know have happened. Make this as accurate as possible. If it's not been on the MLS before, then you can see you have all this information here that you can just fill in. None of it's required, so just put in what's important to help you kind of find some comps for this property. So the location, maybe the school district's important, property type, beds, baths, square footage. All of these features, you can see there's not a drop-down menu, so you're just typing them in as you would see them on the MLS. So if this is something that really makes a difference, maybe the 2-car garage, you can put that in or whatnot here if you're just filling it in, HOA dues. But again, none of this is required, and it's just what you want to put in as you're showing this as the subject property and going over comparables. Once this is all filled out, we're going to continue. So up here at the top, this is the menu option that we're going through. We just did our subject property. Now we're searching for our comparables, which will be the next one. So here we have this, nothing really is showing up. So I'm going to just do my price, and I'm going to just try to widen it a little bit so that I have some property showing up. Right here we have the MLS numbers. So if you already got your MLS numbers, you could just grab those. But here's one property here. We'll just anything else is popping up. Okay, so we have a few more. So you can always look at the details over here to really see if this is a comparable or not for you, and then you could just do include listing right here. Exit out. If I'm like, ooh, I didn't want that one, you're just clicking the picture. If it's a check mark, it's in there. If it's an X, then you would get rid of it. And so we're just going to grab some of these solds. I'm not seeing any actives or pendings. They would show up here, green for active, yellow for pending. And the listings are just going to increase over here as we go through. You have your different filters here that you can kind of play around with to get the comps. I could put this in to see if there was any public or private schools around here. For that, oh, there we go. So there they are right here. We got this. And I could even look at school boundaries or district boundaries right here. I can also draw here if I wanted to, or I could do a multi-point draw, which is just doing it that way to get different things to pop up, or a simple radius around an area that they want. And so just a lot of different things you can do with this search map. So we're going to just continue on. And we can see up here, it's going to say active, pending, sold. I have my order by, so I could do active to sold if I had a variety, and then do price low to high or high to low. Here's my subject properties. I can add an adjustment if needed. If for some reason square footage is off, sometimes due to basements, you could replace with a custom listing and then just make that square footage more accurate. And then you can see listing details or edit remarks here. Here's the listings. We can add more, we can get rid of any. And here's the summary over here where price by square footage, price, square foot, beds, baths. So you can kind of play around until you're getting the comps that you think really accurately work with this property. And then we'll just continue on to the estimated pricing. So over here, pricing stats, you can see all of these average price of sold comparable properties right over here. So if you don't have any solds, if it's just active and pendings, this is going to show up 0. It's not a glitch. It's just because it only goes off of the price of sold comparables that you have in this presentation. So just be aware of that. I'm going to come up here. Here's the estimated market value. You can go in, change this. You can create a range. You can even write some remarks about this if you wanted to. And then the last section is pages. So here's your presentation. There's this web view and a print view. You know your clients. Maybe they like to have something in their hand as you walk away. Or maybe they're really techie and they just want to pull it up on their tablet and look through. Web view, that's going to be more dynamic because all of the links are going to stay up to date and accurate. It's basically a website URL. And so that is the difference between that versus a more static print presentation. What they see is what they get. It can't change or update as changes and updates happen in the market. If you already have your template, you know your pages are good to go. And so you would just be ready to either send this out or just, view it. Here you can send it out. This is digital, this is the PDF. You can write a message, send a copy to yourself. Or if this is not a template, you might want to just move the pages around. You can view all the pages. You can get rid of any pages. Look at the edit option for any page you hover over. If a pencil comes up, it's editable. So here I can change which features I want to be compared. And so I can just get rid of random ones if I want. By section right here. So always look through the pages, look at the pencil to edit any of them, move them around. Again, down here, this is where you could save a template once you really like how it's set up. It's smooth, it's right exactly how you talk through a presentation. Save it, and then in the future, all you're doing is plugging in the subject property and the comps, and you know you're good to go. But even with templates, so if it was a unique property, you could still add pages to the template. You just are starting off where you want to be starting off. And then, of course, you can always add pages from the library. You want to go down partner pages. That's our buy-side pages. I click on that. I can add any of those in, or brokerage pages. They have a whole section right here for sellers that you can just click on and look through. You can view them. If you like it, you can just add it right here and you're good to go. And then click up here to be the presentation. If it's a luxury listing, I can go to branding and change it to luxury right here by doing luxury and then clicking apply. I can just go on back to presentation here And then here's our presentation, and that's walking through setting one up.